And there's me, there's him, and there's the other one.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
I know. Who is it? I forgot who you are. It's young Duncan and it's young Ray. How are you, folks? Welcome to Stadia Rokks.
Hello.
How are you guys? How are you guys? Apologies, I'm in my invalid chair over here. So yeah, apologies for being off in the distance. But anyway, enough of me. Duncan and Ray, how are you, my good friends?
Man, I got nominated. Holy cow!
Oh,
I was like, is what? Did they call my name? But I'm so humbled and yeah, very happy about it.
That was it was very special. For those of you that don't know what the heck Ray is on about, bear with us a few minutes. I'm sure we will cover it off as the show progresses. Duncan, apart from the last hour, which I can see you busily mopping the sweat from your brow, how has the week been for you, my friend?
The week has been very busy, but it has been a lot of fun as well. So lots of stuff happening, lots of things to talk about. And although the big games have dropped onto Stadia, including something we're going to talk about shortly.
Yes, it's been a very busy week as always. It seems to be getting busier and busier as the days go by. Just saying hello to a few of you lovely people that popped in to see us in the chat. Thank you so much. It's always great to see you. You're an absolute diamond lot, the lot of yous. So should we jump straight into the news then, seeing as we're kind of itching to get on with it?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's do it.
The latest news from Stadia.
Right, and we're going to start. We kind of get chopped up here, don't we? We can't really win. Let's go with this anyway. We're going to start with our December Pro games. Well, these came out yesterday. Duncan, do you want to run through the list?
Okay, I will run through this here. We have got Monster Jam Titans, Secret Neighbor, Hitman 2, Everspace, Kine, and Into the Breach. It seems I've been just doing nothing but read game names off over the last hour and a half.
That's why you did. Self to blame. Yeah, exactly.
That's why you're making me do this.
Exactly. It's all good. It's all good practice. It's all good practice. Ray, which of these, if any, has got you all excited for December?
Oh man, you know what? That Everspace, some good old space combat. That sounds really great. I used to love playing. I love Star Trek and Star Wars, and so yeah, Everspace. And I have to say, you know what? This is going to be a kind of shocker, but I used to take my son to the Monster Jam trucks, and so we used to watch that. They would come to the Oakland Coliseum stadium, and we would watch the Monster trucks do flips and stuff. So Monster Jam Titans.
That's the one. I actually played it this afternoon. I spotted that it was on PS Now, so I thought, oh, I'll have a little play of that. And I have to say, I really enjoyed it. It's a good little game. I've got a feeling that it may come, and Duncan, you may know this. When it comes to Stadia, I have a feeling that it will have it's got a co-op sort of screen split option right now. Where you can do couch co-op, but I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't squeezed in multiplayer. Have you heard if that's going to be the case? You're mute, my friend.
You're mute, Duncan.
Muted. I'm always muted. Yeah, I haven't heard one way or the other in that. I haven't actually seen much. I know about some of the games coming here, but Monster Jam Titans is one I'm more in the dark about.
No, that's fair enough. But anyway, it was good fun. Any of those in that little list that particularly interest you?
Well,
go on, Ray.
Oh, well, since you said multiplayer, I don't know if people know, but Secret Neighbor is a multiplayer survival game. So that's going to be very exciting. And then I don't know. Kine looks kind of weird to me, but it's a puzzle game. So I might give it a try. But Into the Breach, I love my retro. It's kind of like a pixel tactic strategy game. So
okay, well, like an 8-bit type thing, is it?
It is an 8-bit strategy game, like a tactic, like you put your robots and then I guess they move and you kind of strategize. So yeah,
that's kind of game you like, isn't it, Dunk? Those sorts of
Yep, Into the Breach is something I've got my eye on.
Mhm.
I've already got Kine. It's not a bad Wii game, and it's one of the games that everybody has been predicting is going to be pro, and it finally has managed to that big transition into pro. The Hitman 2, if you like Hitman, you're going to love that one. I think you know straight away if you're going to like that one. Everspace is what I'm looking forward to trying to see how it is on Stadia.
Because that is a roguelike, isn't it? I think.
Into the Breach, yeah.
And Everspace.
Everspace is a roguelike.
Yeah. So that's well, you know my thoughts on roguelikes. I might have to skip that one. They're not particularly my favorite kind of game, but this, look, yet again, we've got 6 games. Do you see? I keep making these predictions, and I'm giving up on predictions. I'm going to retire my predictions, I think. But coming up to Christmas, do you think we're likely to get some intermediate drops? Ubisoft Plus.
Yes. Well, we've got a yes and we've got a no. Oh, yes. Do you what? This is up to Rock now. Do you want to go positive first or negative first?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say.
I'm saying yes, and Ray's saying no.
Oh, Ray doesn't think so. Oh,
No.
Ray. Oh, I don't mind Ray being negative.
I know.
Ray, why don't you think they're going to do that? You don't think we're going to see Ubisoft Plus before Christmas?
I don't think so, guys. I really don't. I mean, we thought we were going to get a Connect, huh? We didn't get a Connect, did we? No, we didn't get a Connect. We get a Connect. We're going to get a Connect before Christmas.
We got a Connect a couple of weeks ago with the good stuff. That was a Connect.
No,
that was the chopped up Connect.
That was not a Connect. Okay, what was it? 3 minutes? 5 minutes?
Yes, it was a chopped up Connect, more or less. If you put all of the 3 days together, that was a Connect, and that would have been a real good Connect for Stadia.
The reason why I say no is because I think there was some people that had transferred over stuff to the UB. That was Luna. They did some transferring of files or whatever, and they lost some saves and some things got corrupt. So I don't know. Maybe that's why that they're kind of halting. I don't know.
I know it's all prediction stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I said this the other day. You can't predict. You can't predict with Stadia, can you? Sometimes you can, and you get lucky, and sometimes you find a few words of text in a web page, and that doesn't happen either.
And there's another reason they keep pushing out these Ubisoft games. Do you look? You know.
But that was always going to be the case, wasn't it? I mean, if they've ported the game, they're going to want to put it up on the store for a week or two and try and wring out a few sales before they succumb to the subscription.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. I wanted to come. I really wanted to come.
Yeah, of course, we all want it, don't we?
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't. And Christmas is only a celebration for so many people in the world, of course, but then I think it does cover every current territory. So who knows? We shall see, I guess. We shall see. Right. So next, the other thing which just links on with this actually is that the following games will be going, if you haven't claimed them from the Pro Library, November 30th. That's Superhot, Power Rangers, Battle for the Grid. Oh, same game, sorry. Little Nightmares, Hello Neighbor, Super Bomberman are online. So they aren't going anywhere as far as Stadia is concerned, but they will be dropping out the Pro list. So you make sure you claim those by November 30th. If you haven't, and that's really important, of course, if you're one of those people that's recently joined the community and you've got your Premier Pack, make sure you go in and everything that says Pro, claim it, because it's yours forever then, but they will rotate them out if you haven't claimed them. So definitely one to think about. Black Friday sale. Most of the community, it was just about every game was discounted, wasn't it? I don't think there were many that escaped. Have you bought any? When does it start? Tomorrow, isn't it? What have you got? What have you got your eyes on, Ray?
Well, I already snatched it up, and that was Wildlands. And I have Wildlands, but people, it plays totally different on Stadia. It is simply beautiful, and I'm not even playing it in 4K. And it's just an amazing game. I got the $26.99 pack, which includes some custom guns and a lot of extra stuff in the battle pass. So thank you.
Total professionals here. We're total professionals.
I'm like,
oh, don't make me laugh. Oh dear.
But but I got Wildlands. I got Wildlands. Tom Clancy. It is an amazing game, and if you can, and I know I had someone tell me, why are you buying these games and Ubisoft Connect? Because there's no Ubisoft Connect, and I said I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, and I'm a sucker, and I went and I got it.
It's a great game, and it's a great subscription, and that's why I won't be buying any Ubisoft games as much as I want to.
I got 3. I bought 3. I just couldn't resist.
It's like we've got Phoenix Rising coming out on the 3rd of December, which is next Thursday, I think, Friday. And again, everybody knows Ubisoft Plus is coming. Who's going to be racing to pay full price for it? This is the thing. This is where it just doesn't add up, does it?
Exactly. I am just waiting on Ubisoft Plus, and on the games in Stadia, I'm in the fortunate position where I've actually picked a load of them up. So the only ones I am really on my list on that sale is the Ubisoft ones, and I ain't buying them until I'm waiting for Ubisoft Plus. Unfortunately.
Interestingly, though, I've stopped playing Watch Dogs Legion and Valhalla because I want to play it on Stadia. So I've a chunk of progression on both, but I really, really want to play it on Stadia. So I've moved on to play Miles Morales and a few other bits and pieces.
You know what, Rock? I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat. But this morning, Valhalla was just calling me. But exactly. No, it was, and I can't. But if you go to the Ubisoft Connect, it has a thing on there that says "Coming, Stadia is coming," and it's and you got Luna's already linked up, and then you got Stadia just sitting there, just like, okay.
I know. It's going to come. And quite honestly, I'm just going to wait because there's so much. 6 new games coming next week, so much new content. And guess what's coming in, 14, 15, 16 days time? Cyberpunk. And I put my pre-order in. I've got my premiere pack coming as well. Really looking forward to that. Did you pre-order that one on Stadia, Ray?
I sure did.
Yeah, man. He goes about high five.
That's the game of all games, supposedly.
Yeah.
So, but with this Black Friday sale, all the people that picked up the new premium edition controllers and they got the new Chromecast, this is a time to stack up your library. And they always say we don't have any games. Not only do we have the games, but we have the sales so stack it up and get them.
Yeah, no, that's true enough. Duncan, anything caught your eye in the Black sale? About a new microphone? Was that in there?
Yes, it was. Like I said, I'm in a fortunate position where I've got most of the games I want. I'm just waiting on Ubisoft Plus. So I'm going, but I did pick up Cyberpunk. I did go just because you can get the extra controller. That's the reason why I'm getting this on Stadia, is for the extra controller, and I'm hoping that it's going to run really well, and we will see it shortly. Because they seem to be releasing footage on every other platform bar Stadia, because we've seen the Xbox footage, we've seen the PlayStation footage. I think we need to see the Stadia footage now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, I mean, there are so many. The only one that I had thought about picking up, but I've already played it and completed it, which is what's holding me back, is Red Dead Redemption. And the only reason that I was thinking of picking it up is that a little birdie told me they're remastering it in 4K for the next gen, and I kind of would really, really love to think that that would be a thing for Stadia. Also, I found out, I think it's this Friday, they're separating out the online, aren't they, as a completely separate free-to-play, which is interesting. Now, well, again, I wonder, I know currently if you buy Red Dead Redemption from the store, you obviously get the online, but I do wonder whether that's going to come as well as an independent free-to-play alongside Destiny in the next few days.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping will happen.
That would be very good, I think.
Yeah.
So them's was your Black Friday sales. As you can see, I can run down this list until next Thursday. It goes on and on and on and on and on. I think pretty much any game that you haven't picked up, now is the time to do it.
Well, they have it also breaking down for everybody, and then also the pro members for the sales. And those are just good, just really good sales, guys, if you don't have those games.
Oh, I totally agree. I think one of the things that I am, as we approach the end of the year and as we just come the other side into our second year at Stadia, which we've done now, I think the thing I'm most heartened with is that you can now come to the platform without putting a penny down and have at least Crater and Destiny to play, which are two amazing titles anyway. And of course, as we just mentioned, with Red Dead Online and maybe some more coming in the not too distant future as well. So, you know, that excites me the most, because we're seeing so many people coming into the community that have had a genuine reason to give it a go now without spending any money.
Yes.
Yep. I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see if anybody knows. What game didn't go on to sale?
I know.
And it's never been on sale?
There's two games. There's two games.
What are they, Ray?
Well, I know Attack on Titan 2. And then also, I wanted to go on sale. I went up and down this list, and it was not on sale. And that's the motorcycle racing game.
Yep, exactly.
And there's another one. And then I just heard they announced they got part 2 coming out. But I think it's the Monster Drink motorcycle, the motocross bike.
Yep, the next one's coming out. I think we all had a good bit of fun on that on the first Stadia Super Saturday.
Wow. And thank you to Lloyd for becoming a member as well. Thank you, my friend. It's very kind of you.
Thank you. Hey, can I tell you guys, come December 1st, we're going to get our 6 pro games. That will give me 100 Stadia games in my library.
It's not funny, right?
So sometimes when I go down this list, I get kind of pissed off. I get pissed off because it's like, I spent double, you know? But
that's amazing.
But yeah, you know, I had some friends that said, you know, Stadia didn't have any games, so I wanted to prove that they do have games, you know. And so
is it too late to put a new nomination into the awards? Most owned games.
I have 90. I got the Star Wars, so that makes 94. So come the 1st, I think we get 6. So that will be 100 games I have.
Wow, that is amazing. Does that include obviously includes all the pro games as well?
Yeah.
I think I've maybe got about how many pro games have there been? 20, 30, something like that?
It's like 30, 30, 38, 36.
So I think I've got about 48 games in total. Duncan, you've got a fair chunk as well, haven't you?
I haven't counted the last time, and I would be scared to count as well. I don't think I'm not at raise level because I'm not buying Ubisoft games. I've stopped buying that since the announcement.
Yeah.
But I've got a good load of them. It'll be more games I don't have rather than games I do have. It'll be the easier list to go down. But again, this is something I've been saying for a while. Game buying on Stadia is far too easy to do because you just do it and you forget about it because there's no downloads, no nothing. You just go, just buy that, and you forget about it because you don't have to manage your space. It happened to me when I was playing the old cloud gaming services. You just sit there and forget about it, and you just buy it, and it's going to get worse, believe it or not, when more and more games come onto the services. When more games come on, the prices get cheaper, and you're just going to start picking these games up. Oh, this is only a couple of dollars. You're going to go, yeah, I'll just buy it. It is going to get worse, people. It's going to get worse.
The problem I have now is I have a backlog. It's just.
I know, but you're a collector, you see, aren't you? That's the thing.
Yes.
I mean, there are people like me that will buy a game and play it all the way through to the end, and then that's it. But there are people that collect, and I totally respect that. There are people that buy games.
I'm a game hoarder. I have a problem.
But there are people. Yeah, like Lloyd's got a wall of games, but I bet he's not played all of them. And there may be some he's never played, but it's just nice to say I've got the entire collection in that particular genre or that particular platform or that particular studio. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are people that collect stamps that cost a second mortgage. It's just it's a hobby. That's fine.
Yes.
You tell that to your therapist anyway. She'll be absolutely fine with it, mate. Right, brilliant. So Black Friday, go fill your boots, folks. Now then, something that finished on Sunday, which was an absolutely amazing event, which was, of course, the Stadia Super Saturday. And Duncan, you played a massive, massive part in this. I was going to try and see if I could find. It may have gone now, but that's all good. You played a massive part in this, along with Adam, Original Penguin. I know that it was such a well-organized event, and I think we broke a few records as well, didn't we? I think we probably the most successful of the three. Go on, mate, press that button.
Believe it or not, I thought I had myself unmuted. I'm not going to touch it again. So if you hear any noises of me banging things about here, it's all in use now. That's it.
I'm not unmuting myself. About, mate.
And absolutely massive. The numbers were definitely up from the last year. It is. Or last year, the last one, I think we're talking 2, 3, and in some cases 4 times as many people just watching, and it is definitely growing. We are discussions on how we're going to take that forward. There's been questionnaires put out. There's questionnaires for people who have been watching as well. So thank you all for watching. Just to see how often do you want it and what do you think things would be done better for. You can do us an off. Why do you put an awful different thing of me up there?
I don't know. I think this was the previous one anyway. So it was 9 months ago. Look at that, hey.
Yeah,
I tell you, see, this is why you need Avery running shows like this. There's no point in having me on them.
Yeah, it's really, really great to see that this is actually exploded, and we've got so many more people taking part. And if you haven't seen the form, it is on Stadia Super Saturday's Twitter account, which is Stadia Saturday. It's just to see how you wanted to proceed. Do you want it every quarter? Do you want it twice a year? Do you want it once a year? I have my own feelings. I don't want to influence anything there, but I have my own feelings on it.
Ray had, for me, probably one of the funniest, if not the funniest shows. I'm so pleased I stayed up to watch it because I was crying. If you haven't seen Ray's show, go and watch it because I genuinely, and it's just because he's so lovely and he's just having fun, and just to see a guy enjoying himself so much. And I was absolutely in tears. So Ray, you and Ray did. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the spoiler here, but Ray, what was this momentous thing that I think probably you and only you did for the entire weekend?
2 a.m. I wanted to be up because I think it started at 3, so I got to see the Stadia Source, the first show, and then I watched all the shows. I think there was only 2 shows that I didn't watch, but I did 2 a.m. to 2 a.m. I did a whole 24 hours because I honestly didn't want to miss all the content creators. And I'm so glad. I mean, oh man, but if you look at me if you look at the video, my eyes are like that. I'm squinting. I'm tired. My eyes are trying to shut. And that's why I was driving so bad. Because my eyes,
sorry.
I was tired, but I didn't want to miss, like guys like Sounds of Stadia and Sammy and Hell Monkey and Dre. Oh my God, Meg was back. 6'4" was back. We even got a history lesson. I think his name was BT Pix. Yeah, he did a whole history, the history of video games, which I thought was so. I mean, it was. Oh my God, Cloudburst and Clive, and it was just massive, and it was great, and it was a huge success, and I was so glad to be a part of that, and I was so happy for the other content creators.
It's always, I mean, it's the second one that I've done, and the first one I was completely rabbit in headlights because I'm trying to think. I think it was April. Earlier in the year, and it was about April, wasn't it? I'd only started streaming in March, so to be even part of it was like, and not to say I wasn't any less nervous for this one, but I could at least, I was more familiar with the whole community, so it was great to see people like you two, that I now consider personal friends.
Yes.
And feel like, we've been on a journey together, haven't we? And for me, the whole Stadia Super Saturday is more of a nod to the effort and the community, the family we've built up over the past months, as it is to the platform. I think it's as much to say, just look at the variety and quality and breadth and depth that we've got to the community now. And you could literally watch, and I did watch streamers from different countries with massive followings that aren't necessarily in our everyday communications because we don't speak the same language, but they're in their own territory doing amazingly well, and you're not aware of that stuff. So for me, that's the thing I love about it. But on a personal level, Duncan, thank you very much for the effort you put in, because quite honestly, it was amazing.
This one was, I'm going to say, 99% all Adam of Stadia Source. He put an absolute mountain in for this one here. What I'm going to say, my personal highlight of the whole thing was a Color TV's reaction.
Oh, the 200 subs.
Not only that, was when he seen how many people were actually viewing him, his eyes just lit up at that. Never mind the 200 subs. It was like, oh my God, I've got so many people in my chat right now.
And then shout out to Juggernaut. We also have, of course, when you stream and when you're going live, anything can happen. And Juggernaut had issues with his stream, but you know what? The chat stood in there. They gave him donations. They told him not to worry. Things happen, and I thought that was great. And I applaud Juggernaut because he kept the show going. So I applaud him.
Yeah, no, it was an amazing event, and you're right. Adam did behind the scenes, guys. Those of you that weren't involved in the streaming itself, behind the scenes, the professionalism was second to none. I mean, I was bowled over, and I'm sure you were as well, Ray. So, huge hat off to those guys. And personally, I think twice a year. I would like to see it twice a year. I don't think anything more than that, because I think otherwise it will start to lose its glisten.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
You go first. I'm more than happy to listen to you.
I just wanted to say also that it also inspired my best friend now wants to be a content creator.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that we've also inspired. That's how I got inspired. So this is just, wow. I just wanted to add that. Sorry, Duncan.
Yeah, what I was going to say there, if we're going to since we're putting it on the line here, my feelings are either once or twice a year. I think same as you. If we do it too often, it will lose in its sparkle, and I think we should do it once a year, anniversary weekend, and then maybe somewhere in between, like maybe E3 sort of time, or somewhere halfway through just to break up. But I wouldn't want to do it quarterly.
No, I agree. I agree on that. But either way, an amazing, amazing weekend. It really is a festival of talent. And everybody did exceptionally well. So thank you to everybody watching and everybody who took part. That was amazing. So very quickly, got two more things. I'm just conscious that we're got a lot of news. Well, it's all fair. One quick one is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, excuse me, has landed on Stadia. Lots and lots and lots of very excited community members. I'd already played it, so I haven't picked it up, but I loved it. And I know, Ray, I saw you playing it the other day.
You know what? I picked it up. I'm going to stream it tonight. I was in the chat watching a lot of other guys play it, and I had to get out because I didn't want any spoilers.
Yeah.
But it looks amazing and beautiful. I saw Dominic from Stadia Source play it, and I was just like, oh my God, it's just beautiful, beautiful graphics.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous game. It's 60 frames per second, I think. I don't know what that means. We'll find out later. Watch this space, folks. But it's a stunning game, and of course, it's Electronic Arts as well, isn't it? So
yes.
It's good to see another one from them in the stable. Duncan, are you? I know you're a Star Wars fan of sorts. So you'd be picking that one up.
I will be picking it up at some stage. Again, it's really good. We're going to touch on this later, but resolution isn't as important as FPS, and I was glad to see that it is 60 FPS. After playing Jedi Fallen at 60 FPS, it just makes such a big difference, and I'm really, really happy that it has actually came at that.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous game. Great story as well. I really enjoyed it, I have to say. Very much so. Right. And finally, but I think probably one of the biggest sleeper stories of the week, let's put it this way. So Vulkan, which is basically it's the language that's used predominantly for developing games or porting to games for Stadia, had a big update just recently, which introduced their own version of ray tracing. So it doesn't use DirectX, the Windows version, which the other games and which NVIDIA cards use. They've actually created their own version. Of course, the kind of thought process here is, hello, Vulkan powers Stadia, ray tracing is out. That's surely got to be coming to Stadia soon, hasn't it?
Yes, we know ray tracing is coming to Stadia at some time next year because the Chorus devs have talked about it. We have talked about this for a while. Stadia is playing a bit of catch up at the moment, and this is a big, massive stepping stone for them and something which they have needed. When this is going to be actually implemented and actually usable in games and where we're going to actually see the benefits, that is going to be the question, because just because it's becoming released, it does still take time to get actually put the processes into it. We've talked about this. I'm not sure if I want to go much over this because I know you're a bit conscious of time, but it's Stadia. The way Stadia was actually set up is actually for the longer term, and there are going to be short-term issues actually bringing games to Stadia. But now with all these new advances into Vulkan, it should actually speed things up a bit.
Excellent. And Ray, have you got any thoughts on next gen?
I'm just looking to the future. I know a lot of people just have to be patient because they're always trying to compare Stadia to these consoles. And I'm just telling you, look for 21, 22, and 23. The technology. And I mean, just like the people that develop Chorus, they were letting you know it's going to probably surpass the consoles or be on par or equivalent to it. And so, I mean, it's the games are going to they look beautiful now, but they're going to even look even more beautiful in the future. So it's just good to know that that something is going on. I think COVID kind of slowed down a lot of development, but I'm just looking for the future. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely astounding. And Duncan, did you just mention? I know there's a game coming out. I know you said Chorus is one that's they've sort of hinted that it's going to have ray tracing. But I seem to remember reading recently there was a game that isn't that far down the road that the developers have tweeted about playing with ray tracing as well on Stadia.
I can't think at the top of the head. The only one I can think of is the Chorus ones. I know that they have been talking about it. Then they talked about Generation 2, G Generation, and which then they talk back fair and quick. So I think it is the Chorus ones which have been talking. I may be wrong in that.
It's yeah. I mean, there were other features as well which I've forgotten, but it's very much about second gen. And of course, the thing is that we've got to look for as well is the thing they mention a lot of, this sort of distributed computing, where you can, in its essence, daisy chain different CPUs or different blades to run games at a much higher quality level. So I think the new version of Vulkan also has some improvements in that regard as well.
Yeah, but that's what Stadia have touted from the word go, is the elastic compute, it's called, where they can just expand out, just to take advantage of all the games which need additional power. I'm just hoping that we may see that soon, with a game maybe coming in how many weeks is it? 2 or 3 weeks time? I don't know why, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we may see something interesting with Cyberpunk and Stadia, because they are doing that big offer. And can you imagine if it runs really, really well? And the Cyberpunk devs have actually been on record as saying that the Stadia version is ready, it's done, it's just like a PC, we're happy with it. So I don't want to get people's hopes up, but I would. It's one which I'm really, really intrigued to see.
I know, you know me, I'm the eternal optimist, but I've been thinking the same thing. That's why I was really keen to buy it on Stadia, because I think even if it doesn't necessarily launch with those features, it will have an update in the near future that'll have them as well. So, but who the heck knows? Who am I to know anything, I say. Yeah. Right, yeah. Then that was the news, folks. I thought it was a very nice and very interesting news that we covered off there. I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to get rid of. We're going to have this. Is what we're going to have. Here he comes.
What's up, Rock?
So what's up, Rock? See, I got it that time. You keep on talking. You keep on talking, and you want me to say that you don't let me say.
It's true. I cut him off every time. I'm sorry. Look, you know what? I tell you what I think is up, Rock, or even Duncan. Duncan, I tell you what I think Rock thinks is up.
I don't want to know what Rock thinks is up.
I tell you what I think. I think it's time we had a dedicated Stadia Awards event, and someone like you should do it, Duncan.
Do you think? Yes.
Well, why not?
Why not? Yeah, we have today announced our nomination. We're doing what's called the Cloud Gaming Awards, which is going to focus on cloud gaming. And this year it is going to be 99% all Stadia. It is everything is there. We have got 20 award categories and 18 you can vote on. The voting has now opened, and we've already seen some brisk voting. So get in early, get in often, as I say over in this part of the world, and for your voting. And we're really looking forward to actually seeing how it's going. You two guys have been nominated for it as well, and you're competing against each other, so you're going to be taking votes off each other in the Stadia Streamer Award.
Ray. Do not vote for me. Vote for Ray. He deserves it vastly more than I do. There's no question of that.
Meg, or 6'4".
He can nominate who he wants, but I'm nominating
Project
Ray.
Storm, Crispy 4K.
Yeah, it is really going to be difficult on who to actually vote for a lot of these categories. So we've got the Stadia Pro Game of the Year, Destiny 2, Grid, Hitman, Human Fall Flat, Zombie Army 4, Party Game, Cake Bash, Get Packed, Spitlings, Just Dance, Wave Break, Family Game, Human Fall Flat, Monopoly, Spitlings, Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, Uno, Best Sound, Just Shapes and Beats, Lost Words, Beyond the Page, Risk of Rain 2, Rocket Pages 2, and Thumper. Best Use of Static Technology, Creator, Grid, Dead by Daylight. I didn't say Death by Chocolate. I nearly said it.
Yeah, I'm disappointed.
I'm trying to get out from that habit. Football Manager 2020 and the Division 2. That category there, I want that to become a massive category next year. I just want to see that become massive. The next one is Sport and Racing, which is F1 2020, Football Manager, Grid, NBA 2021. We need to get that off there. PGA 2K21. Accessibility in games. This is a word chosen by ourselves. That's a big one.
Yeah, good one.
We want to choose a game which has actually went above and beyond there. The next is Stadia Creator of the Year. Everybody loves me saying these because I'm awful with the pronunciation. Stadia, Gromi, Gromdal, LGN, said H, Stadia Estado, and Stadia FR. Podcast / talk show of the year. See, I actually edited that one for you, Rokk. Can you guess?
Because I'm not in it. I can tell that much.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's because because of the podcasty bit, because it's not all just audio. So I changed it to just talk show as well.
Yeah. No. Yes. Quite that and all.
Yeah. That's one of your bugbears. So that's why I actually changed.
I've given up now, mate. I just go with the crowd now. It's the best way to be.
So that's Clive Hevington, Sounds of Stadia, Stadia Cast, Stadia Source, This Week in Stadia. Stadia Streamer of the Year is 64, Megatron X, Project Storm, Stadia Rokks for Rockstars at Night, and Array 3473, The Gaming Sideboard.
The Gaming Sideboard. That's the one you want.
Stadia Creator of the Year is Gem Stadia, Generation Stadia, Stadia Cast, Stadia Dosage, Stunning Cloud Gaming. Co-op Game of the Year, Darksiders Genesis, Orcs Must Die, the Spitlings, the Division 2, Zombie Army 4, RPG of the Year is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy 15, Octopath Traveler, West of Loathing. Adventure Game of the Year is Ari and the Secret of the Seasons, Red Dead Redemption 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Watch Dogs Legion. Shooter of the Year is Borderlands 3, Destiny 2, Doom Eternal, PUBG, Zombie Army 4, Stadia exclusive. Believe it or not, that was extremely hard to actually choose because there's actually a lot more than you think. Is Creator Guild, Lost Words Beyond the Page, Orcs Must Die Free, and Super Bomberman are online. Indie game is Creator, Get Packed, Lost Words Beyond the Page, Spiritfarer, and Spitlings. Stadia Moment of the Year, Andy Morse, Get Packed stream 12 hours in a box, streaming that. Absolutely madman. Eddie Player One, Baldur's Gate 3, he did that the first day at launch and he got bonkers numbers, people watching him. Phil Harrison's Immortals Phoenix Rising demo reveal. I think we all were on camera when we seen that. Everybody's face was a picture. All the game streamers in the community, everybody was just absolutely shocked about that. Next is the Outcasters Twitter account because they're just interesting. Lots of interactivity on it.
They're great.
And Stadia Super Saturday for the events. The Special Recognition Award is something we're going to be choosing as a panel. And the Game of the Year is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Destiny 2, Doom Eternal, Sekiro, Red Dead Redemption 2, and there we go. And you can vote. The link is on Twitter. It's on the webpage as well.
Fantastic initiative, Duncan. Well done, my friend. I bet you're really chuffed to have to have read them all out again so soon after the big event.
Yes, didn't I do well? You wouldn't have no I practice that a bit too.
I know. You're going to be going to sleep tonight thinking, creator of the year, foreign year. And they'll just be going to be filling your head like little sheep jumping around in there.
Tell me about it.
You know it, don't you? Well, there you go. I feel suitably informed now. Rokk is no longer whatted and uppeted. So thank you very much for that. Let's move on to the next item in today's show, which is... It's well, you know what it is. It's the old Rokk review, and it is. Guess what it is today? It's not only Valhalla, because I think we've all played it and we all love it. So we thought we would we'd bring that one to town. Now, I do have a little video, but before we do that, let's just quickly run through the criteria again. Duncan, can you select the criteria and just run through what those are while I line the video up, please?
Okay, I'm in the wrong thing here. We are in, what am I looking here?
You want that one?
Yep.
Which says what?
No! I can't find it. I'm in the wrong. See, because
right, you get the video and I'll do the reading bit.
No, you've got me all confused now.
Don't you worry. Don't worry. I've got it covered. Don't worry. Don't worry, Mr. Mannering. I've got it all sorted. Here it comes. Right, here we go. Right then. So we do 5 criteria. Yes, Ray's got it. We do 5 criteria. Number 1 is how quickly can you get into the game? Number 2 is, can you pick up from where you left off? Number 3 is, how easy is it to play? Number 4 is it rewarding? And then finally, number 5, is it value for money? So right back at the top, Ray, how quickly can you get into the game?
Well, I'm playing it on Shadow. Unfortunately, I'm not playing it on Stadia because I'm waiting for Ubisoft Connect. But this game, oh my God, this game, you can load in. I give it a 5 because when I play, I'm right in it. So I give it a 5.
So yeah, it's a fast. It has the usual thing with all Ubisoft games, where they kind of have a sort of a pre-screen and then the main game screen, don't they? So now they've added in the kind of Ubisoft Connect elements of that as well. So there's the kind of account stuff, and then there's the game. And I always think it just kind of trips you up a bit. I wish they would just go to the one screen that you choose the game from. But you're right. I mean, there's a standard loading. Duncan, what are your thoughts? How quickly were you able to get into the game?
No comment. I have not played it on Stadia, but I think it's in and around from the tests which Cloud Gaming Extreme do. It's in basically no matter where you play games now. If you're on the next generation of consoles or on Stadia, everything is going to be in the ballpark. We're not going to be seeing big things. For me, it is going to be a nice, quick, easy one into it, and we'll go for a 4 for that.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I've played it on a couple of different platforms, and it's, within seconds, they're all much of a muchness. It's a couple of minutes to get into it. It's about a minute and so many seconds because there is that sort of loading aspect. But it's relatively fast, and you haven't got to install it on Stadia, which is a bonus. So I'll go with the 4 as well on that one. Ray, can you pick up from where you left off? If you come out of the game, shut down your Stadia or your PC, pretend you've got it on Stadia for now, and your Shadow, and you come back to it an hour or 2 later, does it pick you up where you left off?
It sure does. I had to help a couple of gentlemen burn down a building, and it put me right back where I needed to be at. So yeah, you make sure you save and you're going to go to the spot. So I'm always making sure that, because I don't want to start back. So yeah, and I give a 5. I mean, I always end up where I saved it at.
Yeah, I'm the same on that one. Duncan, is it the same for you? You giving out
4?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you're never going to get to the the point where you had an arrow about to hit you in the face. It's never going to take you back to that spot, but you'll go back to the main battle or the raid that you were about to take, or point of the mission.
It all depends what you're doing. For the vast majority of it, you're absolutely fine if you're doing a couple of the wee silly wee collectibles or whatnot. But if you're in the middle of a big main story mission, you can't just jump straight out from it.
It's if you're in the middle of a battle and you try and save because you're dying, it's gonna tell you no. You have to finish the battle. Or even when you're not even in a battle and you're near a danger area, because it's going to let you know, when this is an area that is restricted or it's an area where they don't trust you at. So you got to put on your hood to disguise yourself and kind of look among the people. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that is, I totally agree. How easy is it to play, Ray? I mean, if you're, we came up with the 5 points here initially for casual gamers, because it is our firm belief that the majority of people that have Stadia and that are interested in it are so because they're not, absolute diehard sweaty gamers. So, something like how easy is it to play when time's at a premium is a really important factor. So, you've got limited time, you want to get in, can you just pick it up straight away, or have you got to go through copious tutorials and Wikipedias and stuff?
You can that's the difference between an open world adventure game. You can do a world event, you can do a side mission, you can do the story, you can do whatever you want and pick whatever you want and get into whatever you want. Sometimes I'm not doing, believe it or not, I like to go hunt for treasure, so I can look up on the map. And you can, you put your bird up in the air and he flies in the air and he can locate things and you can go hunt. And so I like to go hunt, but I give it I'm not you guys are going to call me a Valhalla fanboy, but I am a Valhalla fanboy.
You're a Valho.
And I am a hoe. And I'm giving it a 5. Because I am the ultimate casual gamer, and I feel that where I lead, I can do whatever I want. If I want to level my character, it's open. The world is open to do whatever you want.
That's a fair shout, Duncan. How easy did you find this to play? Pick it up. How easy is it to pick up?
I'm giving it a 2.
Controversy.
Yeah, and when I explain my reasons, I think you will understand my reasons. And because for me, the reason I'm giving this a 2, I have seen a lot of people being put off, and I have had exchanges of people because of being stuck in Norway. Because you have to leave Norway for the game to fully get out there and explore and take the shackles off and actually start. And people feel it's not really my thing. It's too limiting to this because it don't actually give you the full thing of it. While the game itself, it is quick and easy to get into. The actual gameplay and things like that, it just takes a wee while for it to get into. And if you're a casual gamer, you might not have the time and the patience to actually set your ship to sail over to England and go from there.
But in terms of, I mean, I take your point.
Okay, I was going for the point you were saying about how quick and easy.
Yeah, the whole actual playing with the character.
The playing with the character itself, it is pretty easy, but there is that 2 to 3 hour thing at the beginning when you're in Norway, which can get a little frustrating for people because they want their full arsenal of Assassin's Creed gear and going out there assassinating. See that, and because I have spoke to a lot of people and they have just been put off by that. If you can get over that hurdle, it is really, really easy to play, and it is a real good game.
See, I loved the Norway part. I actually stretched it out because I didn't want to go to England yet. I was loving it so much. So it's horses for courses.
Exactly.
It is the Vikings invasion of Britain. The history. It is the game is the Assassins of Brotherhood versus the Templar Order, and that is in Britain. That is where the story is. It's in England is the story, but and I did what I could, but I could not wait to get to England to get into the really juicy battles.
See, they won't let you in anymore, mate. There's no immigrants allowed in the country anymore. No politics, Duncan. No politics.
Again, before I absolutely love Assassin's Creed, but I'm just going from my experience and how I can and actually do it. Assassin's I was one of the ones pushing for Assassin's Creed for Game of the Year, so that on the awards. So when I try and do things, I try and be completely neutral, and I try and take out my emotion off it. So that's why I do them sort of things.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Absolutely right. Listen, these are our opinions, and that's the important thing. This isn't, as we've said this before, this isn't a review of the game per se, which we all love. It's, from a casual gamer's perspective. So it's a fair shout. If you don't have a massive amount of time to devote, you might get frustrated that you're in the first part of the game, which is essentially a tutorial. So that's a fair shout. Would you guys say it was rewarding, in terms of progression and the rewards that you get for progressing and armor and stuff, Ray?
Yes. Every time what I love to do is I like to sneak and I like to take over camps, and then I like to level up. Once you get the you got to get completely clear out the camp and then loot. And once you loot, and you've taken over the camp, you have you level up, which is just great. And then you take the loot money and you can buy your weapons and you can do all kinds of stuff. So I feel like there's lots of rewards, and then just helping people. I've seen, like, this morning there was a guy that his hands was tied behind his back and he was like, help, and I was riding my horse past him and I kind of looked and I said, you know what, I'm gonna help this guy out. And so I took on 2 guys, and then you can end up getting more treasures and more loots and getting rewards, or them giving you information.
And did that slow you down from getting home to play Valhalla when that happened?
No, this game is amazing. It is amazing. It is very rewarding for me. My character is very, very stocked up right now, so I'm giving it a 5.
I love all the little side missions. Like, there's one guy, if you come across the guy who's sat on a bench, no spoilers, and he's like, I've been in a bit of a battle and I've got an itchy head, and he's got an axe embedded in his head. Have you seen that fella? And she's like, I better take that out, and she kills him. Absolutely brilliant. I love the humor as well that's buried inside.
Lots of humor in here.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. Duncan, rewarding. Mute.
Just people put me on mute. I was making sure I didn't have myself on mute. I think it's Rokk being a troll.
I promise you it wasn't me.
Yes, absolutely. I think it is rewarding, and I'm giving that a 4 for that. I'm absolutely loving it. Even just talking about it here, it makes me want to go up here and start playing it again. I just love the game, but I'm trying to limit myself because I'm trying to wait for all the DLC and stuff to come out for it as well, because I know I'll be playing it all year, so I don't want to sicken myself and just play it non-stop.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. And that's why I've parked it. I've parked it until Ubisoft Plus is on Stadia, because that's really where I want to play it. That was the whole. I only took out the Ubisoft Plus thinking that it was coming to Stadia a couple of weeks later, and we're still waiting. But anyway, so and finally, Esther, as they used to say on a Sunday night in British television, is it value for money? Now, of course, this is going to be a difficult one for all of us because none of us have bought it. So
I have bought it. I can say I have bought it.
It was, what was it, £60, $65? Oh, you went for the big super duper version, did you? With all the extra bits and pieces, the rainbow horse and stuff.
Yes.
Wow. Well, you see, from extreme ends, from Ray and I that have literally paid about $4 worth of the game, and you've spent $100 on the thing. None of us are qualified to say whether it's value for money. I mean, it's a AAA game that you can play for hundreds of hours.
I can say because I have Luna, and so I went on Luna and I connected my Ubisoft Connect account to Luna, my PC, and I'm just waiting for Stadia. But I think for what the little money I spent, I think this is great because I can't wait to connect my account to Stadia.
Yeah, exactly right. Duncan, come on, man. It's value, surely.
Okay, this is actually a hard one to actually quantify. It is because of the Trojan horse of Ubisoft Plus on the horizon. Do you sit and wait, or do you play it now? I think deep down you'll know yourself if you're going to play this game or not, and you're going to stick the hours into it. And for me, it is value for money because I know I'm going to stick well over 100 hours into that. So it'll be like £1 an hour. Can't beat that for sort of value. So I'm going to give it a 4 because I am a real big Assassin's Creed fan. And if you're paying the Ubisoft Plus thing, it is at 5, no questions asked.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot knock the value of Assassin's Creed. I mean, for 40, what is it? £13, $15, right? Something like that.
And for me, it's $14.99.
Okay.
And I have to say, Assassin's Creed Origins, I've never played. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I've never played. People, if you have not played these games, please play them. Wait for Ubisoft Connect and play these games.
What I would say, just to back that up, if you're waiting for an Assassin's Creed game to play, wait for Assassin's Creed Origins. For me, that is near enough a masterpiece of a game, and it blends Assassin's Creed old style and new style perfectly, and it would be a great introduction to these new style Assassin's Creed games. And the setting is brilliant in Egypt. And can I just add one wee thing? So I know you're trying to wrap here, Rokk. We are getting a patch tomorrow on Stadia to fix some bits and bobs. And that's, yes, we are indeed. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking in the chat earlier.
Sorry. I see. For Valhalla, you mean?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah. That's good. That's good to know. Who knows? Who knows what will come from that? Great. So I don't know. Has anybody been keeping score? It was high.
Yep.
Ray gave it every possible 25.
It is people. This right now is the game of the year. I don't care what anybody says. My opinion, I think it's game of the year until Cyberpunk 2077 comes out.
Yeah. Duncan.
Yes.
Duncan's nodding. I'm just making sure you could hear me. No, I think it is definitely up there, Ray. You're absolutely right. And I see this as a long-term companion, Valhalla.
Yes.
In the same way that Destiny is, it's not a game that you don't rush it. It's like a fine wine. It needs to be, just enjoy it. Come back to it in a few days, have a little bit more. And that's the beauty of this game. So it is value for money, because if you have this in your library, you're going to be playing this for, even this time next year, you may still be dipping into Valhalla, particularly as you rightly just said, Duncan, with all the seasons and the DLCs to come and so on and so forth. It's an amazing game, and I think we've given it somewhere between 20 and 25, so it's a high score either way. So that's good news.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, this game, along with Cyberpunk, is going to be you worded it perfectly, a companion for the next year. Because Cyberpunk, I've already seen some of the estimates there. There is someone who has been playing Cyberpunk. Lucky for them, it's one of the developers, and he's just testing it, and he's got over 100 hours yet. He's not even trying to 100% it yet, and he's nowhere near finished.
Wow.
Oh, so we are talking massive games here, and games which you're going to stick in your library for such a long time.
Yeah. Remember, children, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And that concludes our Rokk review. Thank you, chaps. So we've got one final piece of our jigsaw. Unless, Duncan, were you about to say something there? You got all excited for a bit, or no, you didn't.
Nope.
That's fair. Right. In which note then? Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, it's very quick, isn't it? It's Ask Cloudy time. I might have to extend that one. That's what she said as well. Boom, yes. Boom. So let's ask Cloudy, what is 60 frames per second and why is it important?
Yes, I know this has been a touchy subject over the last wee while in the Stadia community. 60 FPS is basically the way the frame rate is on Stadia. Some games look really juddery at times, and other games look a lot smoother. If it's a bit smoother, it's more likely to be 60 FPS. Last week, there was a number of videos came out from Google developers, especially ones from Typhoon Studios. They were actually explaining on Stadia and cloud gaming services, 30 FPS is actually much more noticeable than 60 FPS if you compare it to consoles. So at this moment in time, Stadia should be pushing for 60 FPS, and you can see that when it does push for 60 FPS, it reaps the result, reaps the rewards even. And we've seen that this week with Jedi Fallen Order, and we've seen it from the actual launch title in Destiny 2, because that is a better way to play Destiny is on Stadia compared to the consoles because of the 60 FPS, because it just feels better. So for cloud gaming, especially 60 FPS, which is the frame rate at 60 frames, so you see everything move, that is just so much more important on the cloud gaming platforms than on consoles, and that is why we should be encouraging developers and Stadia to make sure that the games are all 60 FPS, even if the resolution is lower to compensate.
Ray, you've been more of a 60 FPS man than a fidelity.
You know what? I've always had like an old computer that with old graphic cards and stuff like that, and I just recently got a 4K TV. So I'm what you call the casual gamer, guys. I'm not like the hardcore 60 frames, but as long as I can play it, enjoy it, and see it, I'm cool with it. But 60 frames per second is great. I played games that are 60 frames per second and it's amazing. But like I said, there's casual, there's tech heads, there's like all different types of gamers. But I know that's important to a lot of people out there. But to me, like I said, if I could play it and enjoy it, I'm cool.
That's Phil Harrison on the phone for you, Duncan. He said, "Why is he in one of the nominations? You haven't cleared it with press."
Yep, I know. The best demonstration I can give of the 60 FPS, if you've got the game, is Borderlands 3. If you've got Borderlands 3, if you put it onto quality mode, give that a play, and then drop it down to what's the terminology? Balanced mode. The difference is absolutely stark. When you drop it down to balance, it goes 1080 and 60, and it feels like you're playing a completely different game. So it is well worth, if you've got that game, it's a good test on how it actually makes a difference on games on Stadia.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've been playing Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game, which has the ray tracing, 4K, full high res, full fidelity, or 60 frames per second. And I actually went down the whole ray tracing side of things. So I think people might change their mind when we get all of that extra spicy stuff on Stadia as well, because honestly, it makes such a difference when you're playing in Cyberpunk or something like that to have that full ray trace.
Yeah, well, what I would go back to is what the devs have actually said. The 30 FPS is just more stark on Stadia, rather.
Right, okay.
It's just a lot more noticeable. But again, I'm in your boat as well. I've been playing Spider-Man on the PlayStation 5, and I'm playing in full res because you don't really notice the 30 FPS as much. But when you see a game on 30 FPS in Stadia, it just sticks out like a sore thumb.
That's really interesting. Why would that be, Dunk?
I haven't a clue. I think it's just down to the latency and stuff. It's
okay.
And you can just see it as well. And again, I harping back to Borderlands, it is just, that's the game there where you can just really, really see it. So I don't know why it is, but games on Stadia which are 30 FPS, you just see it and you feel it straight away.
No, it's a fair shout. It's a fair shout. But I must admit, I never used to be such a convert for 60, but in the last few months, and particularly with seeing the difference on Stadia, I've even switched my telly over to 60 frames per second on just watching TV, which I never wanted to do before with movies. But now there are certain films. I was watching Home Alone 2 earlier, 60 frames per second. It was great. Yeah, exactly. Good old Macaulay. Gentlemen, I think we've reached the end of our little sojourn. What a lovely show it's been as well. Thank you very much. So let me just get rid of that banner, and we'll get rid of that banner, and we will just pop up in the time-honored tradition. Gentlemen, Ray and Duncan, start with you, Ray. Where can people find you in the week, my friend?
Ray3473. Just go to my Twitter page, and I put up. I'm streaming on Facebook. I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm also doing Luna. I did my first Luna stream last night.
Luna Zone.
So Luna Zone, yes. So yeah, and guys, thanks for being in the chat, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to our American friends. Because of course it's not something that happens over here. We don't tend to think about it, but I know it's a massive holiday for you guys. So yeah, have a great time, have a great weekend, everybody. And most importantly, and we will come back to you, don't worry, please stay safe. I was watching the news and the thousands of people that are not heeding the everybody from Fauci down is saying don't do it, stay home, and yet thousands of them are cramming into airports, some without masks.
No.
Honestly, it's sad to see. We don't have to do it for 1 year, guys. Duncan, where can people find you? They can find you you're so busy.
Yes, I'm taking a hard day or well-deserved break tomorrow and just chilling out tomorrow. Can I just give you some breaking news of a sort?
Yes, please.
This is just, if you have Baldur's Gate 3, your game saves are getting, so just be warned. Your Baldur's Gate 3 game saves are going bye-byes.
Are they?
Yes.
They can't do that.
They're wiping the database.
Yes, that's early access.
Oh,
that's why.
They charged full price for it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I paid. I'm what?
This is why people were warning, saying they're not. If you're banning early access, this is one of the risks you have, that the game saves will get wiped. And I have just seen that the new patch is going to break game saves, so you may have a new one to do. Wow,
Ray, did you get very far with it?
I didn't. I won't say I got very far, but I mean, I did some. There was some battles that I did in. Wow, that sucks. That sucks.
I can't believe that they aren't able to somehow say.
He's laughing.
I did. So's Daz.
Oh,
It's happening on PC as well. Sorry, no, I was laughing at something completely different.
He does multitask. You'd think there would be a way. I mean, I guess it's because maybe the story's changing, Ray. They're adding in some content in between those parts, and I don't know.
Well, just like a pack of cigarettes or a drink, they should say Surgeon General warning.
Health warning.
Here's a warning. Don't, this is what's going to happen, because
could happen to you.
I've seen a lot of streams where a lot of people put a lot of hours and a lot of dedication into this game, and to get that completely just swiped off. Yeah,
there's a lesson in there, though. Crikey, glad I didn't invest in the early access version.
Yeah. I unfortunately, I do believe they did say that was likely to happen. So before, but it was a bit hush hush. But sorry for that bad breaking news. You can find me at One to Escape.
Yeah, so
thanks, Duncan.
Send your rant to Duncan at One to Escape. Oh, brilliant show. Thank you so much, guys, as always. I do love doing the show with you guys. You brighten my week up, and we will you must have a show coming up soon, Ray. You do something nearly every day.
I'm streaming the Star Wars Jedi the Fallen Order. I'm streaming that tonight on Facebook. Just go to my Twitter page. I'll update it.
You're always publishing there. Yeah, aren't you? Please do go and do go and watch Ray's content, folks, because he is by far one of my favorite content creators.
And rest in peace, Maradona.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he's finally gone to the hand of God.
Oh Jesus!
God.
Whoa! Duncan, what Friday night with the nominated Stadia Rokks.
See, that's what you can say.
Yes.
That's what you can say now.
The award nominated, the award nominee, Rockstars at Night on Friday. Look at Ray's. I'm just looking at the stream with Ray's hand of God walking past the screen there. It's so funny. Gentlemen in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight.
Rokk, I'm correcting you. I'm correcting you here.
Why? What have you done?
Ladies and gentlemen in the chat.
Oh, we've got ladies as well. Oh, fantastic.
You're just assuming because that's everybody who is saying.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
That's true. That's true. There might be ladies in there as well. I hope there are. Crikey. I'd love more ladies to come and watch us. Well, I would. Of course I would. But anyway, ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between. Oh, sorry, I got rid of Duncan by accident. Please, thank you for watching us, and please come back again this time next week, where I will be hopefully in a better chair than this one. And you see, take off his beard. This is what happens. Say goodbye, Ray and Duncan.
Goodbye,
Ray and Duncan.
Ray and Duncan.